Welcome back, everyone. What was that noise? Welcome back, everyone, to part number 45 of Mysterious TikToks. Got a great episode for you all today. And if you're all interested, at the end of this video, there's a very special video from this lady here, and she gives a full account of when she met aliens. And I know it sounds fake because so many people say it, but apparently this is one of the most famous stories. And a quick thank you to all of you who like the videos, leave me comments and just support me. It honestly means the world to me and Paul. So thank you all very much for everything. Thank you all, and I really hope you enjoyed this video.
It still boggles the mind to look at it. It may look just like a scene from a disaster movie, but this is real. This video captured today when the ocean caught fire in the Gulf of Mexico just west of the Yucatan Peninsula. Those dramatic images of the ocean aflame quickly going viral on social media. Some people calling it an eye of fire, while others said it looked like the portal to hell opening up. Pemex, the Mexican state-run oil company, says an underground natural gas pipeline sprung a leak that caused that mid-ocean fire. A number of firefighting boats pumped water onto the fire for nearly 5 hours until it was eventually extinguished. They put out a fire on the ocean. An oil platform nearby not damaged.
Okay, I've never seen this before. Water is on fire and they're spraying water on top of water.
Why are they pumping water on water? Can someone explain that to me, please?
I am in Avondale, Arizona right now, and ain't this weird? Right by a 5G tower. The trees are literally bent. How? You're telling me that's by wind? You can tell that's obviously not a real tree, but the real tree's right next to it, for some reason, KO'd. Huh?
And they're telling us that that ain't bad for you. Even the trees are on 1 HP, mate. Even them trees have signed off, clocked out. And they're right next to them 5G towers. And they're saying, don't worry about it. Don't worry. 5G's not going to do nothing. You need a tinfoil hat. That's the only way we can deal with it. And why are they trying to blend them in with trees? You know, it's just like they're trying to get more out there. And a lot of people won't even notice that. But I'll tell you what, if I was living right next to one, I would want cheaper rent, that's for sure. See, I can't make out what that is. It's like there's a crack in the Matrix. That's what it looks like. I don't know. I have no idea what could be causing that. It's so strange. If you've got any ideas what you think this is, definitely leave me a comment down below and I'll go through them. But I don't know. So, I don't know if it's some sort of satellite or some sort of spotlight, but the way it looks like it's cracked through the cloud and it's blinking as well. Who knows?
Over the clouds, look, like what does that mean? Is that a UFO? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, all this weird stuff that is happening in our skies. Do you know what I feel like? Do you know what my theory is? I feel like they found us. Like one alien found us, right? Let's say a Paul was just cruising by and he went, oh, look, a blue ball. I'll go and look at that. And then they find us. And then he calls his mates and they're like,
Boys, they're all here. There's loads of things here. They got hot dogs and burgers and gentlemen's clubs. And they got everything here, boys. Come check it out.
And then the orbs turn up. And then the orbs are like,
No freaking way, bruh. The freaking people are here, dog. You know, this is straight fire, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure they have that accent, but you know what I'm saying. And then after that, the Greys pull up, right? The Greys pull up and they're like,
Right, who are we going to probe first? Flippin' heck. Yeah, I might have to cut that out. I might have to cut that one out. I won't always take it too far. I think I went a bit too far with that one.
You know what? I just scroll on TikTok, and how come people get to see cool stuff like this in the clouds? And obviously this is probably just a cloud formation, but it's still great to see. It's still cool to see, and especially if you have faith, it's just like a warm hug. That's what it feels like. Even me just watching these videos is just a reassurance. That's how I see it. But to actually see something like this with my own eyes would be amazing. And let me know how it would make you feel if you saw something like this.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but the sky in Florida right now is so purple. Like, the whole sky is just purple, dude. Look at this. That is so cool. Wow.
Okay, yeah, that is very weird. If anyone knows why this happens, then do let me know. But yeah, imagine if the whole sky went red. Now that's a colour where I would be tripping balls, man. You know, that would be really freaky, like the end of the world is coming. But purple, I don't know. I would think someone had spiked my drink or something. If I went outside and the sky was purple, I'd be doing this. I'd be looking at my hands. I'll be like, man, have I been drugged or something?
Strange lights are raining down from the sky in Venezuela, and let me tell you, they're absolutely mesmerizing, like nothing we've ever seen on Earth before. These glowing illuminations were recorded by 3 different people, and the footage has gone viral. But wait, there's more. Some experts say this light display wasn't caused by any special forces. It could be an alien craft. Eyes over Venezuela have come alive with mysterious, glowing lights descending from above. These illuminating beams, pulsing, dancing, beautiful beyond belief, were captured in 3 separate videos filmed by everyday people across different regions. No warnings, no military announcement, lights falling like fireflies from another dimension. Local authorities are silent. The U.S. Special Forces say they are not involved. This was not a drill, not a test, not human-made. So what is it? Some are saying this is an alien mothership deploying scouts. Others claim it's interdimensional energy, beings made of pure light coming to observe or make contact.
I definitely don't think they're here to make contact, because it probably would have happened by now. And also the government, you ask them, what the hell is that flying in the sky, mate? There's a UFO right there, and there's an alien sticking his head out the window. What is that? And the government go, I don't know, you tell us. I'm like, eh? That's like picking up a calculator, right? Picking up a calculator and going 1 + 1 =, and then the calculator goes, I don't know, mate. You tell me. You tell me what 1 + 1 is. But hold on a second, it's your job, mate. You're the calculator. You're supposed to tell me what the sum is. You know? Thing is, it's always fun to toy with the idea that 3i Atlas could be an alien ship, and we don't know that for sure yet. I mean, all the news around it is just so strange. Do let me know in the comments what you think 3i Atlas is. I don't know. It's my opinion. If they come here, man, we're cooked, man. Like this video just demonstrated, the whole world would go into a panic. Like, even if the rock just came forward and floated right there in front of Earth for everyone to see, everyone would lose their minds. Yeah, like I said, if that pulls up, that would be insane, like, and scary as well, because we have no clue what's going to happen, and I think that scares the government more than it scares the people, because they need to control the public, and if the public lose their way, they're gonna lose their control, aren't they? So I think that's what scares them the most, and that's why they're not telling us anything. So I've been really looking forward to this. This is a super famous alien case from 1954 in Staffordshire, which is not far from me actually, and where I live. It's in England. So this lady here says that she came into contact with aliens, and they looked like this. Sort of that Nordic sort of look. Very, very strange. And we're going to watch the whole interview right now. So we're going to watch it and we'll talk about it after. I am excited to watch this.
And, well, you just tell me what you saw.
Well, it was one ordinary day. I was waiting for my husband to come home from work, and my two sons went to Cypher to school, and I was getting changed, and I heard this terrific noise. It was just like a giant cauldron of water being poured onto a fire, a shh sort of noise, you know. And my first reaction was, oh, the children. I thought maybe a plane was crashing or something like that. And I slipped my jumper on and went outside to find my two sons lying flat on the ground in a garden in front of the house, shouting, "Mummy, Mummy, there's a flying saucer." Well, naturally, I just said, "Come on, don't be stupid. Come in the house." But felt sort of a strange sensation. Wended my way up the side of the house to where we had a pump where we used to get all our water from, and automatically looked up to see this, all I can describe, this huge Mexican hat. It was stationary, this thing, and it was bright silver in colour, and it had a dome. It was tilted to sort of, I could see the occupants in it.
You saw people in it?
I saw people in it. There were two people in there. These people were beautiful people. That's the only way I can describe them. They had long golden hair, like a page boy bob, just like the old kings. You used to see photographs of the old kings. And the colour of their hair was golden. Now, I was really...
What were they dressed in?
They had a sort of a pole-neck jumper affair, like a ski top suit, in pale blue. Now, these people weren't sat behind, one behind the other. They were sat together, but this, whatever it was tilted so that I could see them and they could see me.
Yeah, let me know your thoughts. I mean, we're just going to continue through this, but just in the first 2 minutes, it's very believable. It is, because of her sort of her details and her sort of record of the event. Like, it seems believable. And of course, we have to always take into consideration that it could be made up, but what would be the point? It just doesn't make sense for someone like this to make something up. It could be a hallucination. I guess we're never going to know, but you can always tell when people are telling the truth, depending on if they obsess over details. People that lie always go overboard with the details. But to be fair, I've never heard someone describe aliens to look Nordic with the long blondish hair and the blue eyes. That's definitely new to me. But anyway, this is very interesting. So let's keep watching.
Were you looking at them through windows, through portholes? Or?
No, not portholes. It was just sort of like a cockpit, I suppose, that had this perspex or glass or whatever it was. They could see me anyway, and I could see them. And they had beautiful faces. I shall never forget their faces as long as I live. Their foreheads seemed to be a bit larger than, you know, the bottom of their faces, as normal people you would expect to see. But maybe this was just whatever they had round their heads, which was like a transparent fishbowl. And they just looked. And I was absolutely paralytic with fear. I couldn't move, although my mind was ticking over. And they looked so sympathetic. that I was just mesmerised for what seemed to be, ages, but it could have only been seconds. And I turned to sort of look down at the boys, was unaware that they were with me because I was so absorbed. And the next thing, I looked up and it was gone.
How low had it been?
It had been the height, I couldn't tell you. But the house that you've seen, it was just on top of the roof. It was hovering on top of the roof.
How big was it compared with the size of the house?
It swallowed the whole circumference of the roof. I couldn't see, the roof was completely blotted out. The chimneys I couldn't see. All I could see was this massive object that I described as like a Mexican hat without the bottoms.
And then it flew away sideways or upwards?
No, I didn't see. I just looked up and it had gone. But I assume it went straight up, because for a short while after in the sky I looked around and I said to my two boys, "Well, can you see anything? Can you see anything?" And they said, "There it is, Mum," and they pointed up, and I watched it. It was just like a little cotton reel in the sky, and it circled us 3 times. It went round 3 times, and then it just shut off, and that was it. When I started to analyse myself afterwards, I feared that I might have had an hallucination, but then I knew I hadn't had, because my sons were so sure about what they'd seen and what I'd seen. And it went through my mind that it was a secret weapon from Russia, and then I thought, well, it can't be that, because if they had something like that, they wouldn't need to fear anybody or anything.
Were you scared by it? Did you run indoors?
Oh, I was petrified. I couldn't move. I couldn't move a muscle. I was paralysed with fear.
Yeah, I can see why a lot of people really like that sort of that witness, and it's so believable the way she goes in on detail on certain things and her description of the events. It is very strange and it is very believable and very famous, especially here in England. A lot of people talk about it, and it just goes to show whatever's floating around out there has come down, right? And think about it. These orbs that are flying around at the moment, someone might have had contact with them. I mean, we're seeing it right now happen in the world. There's stuff flying around now that these people might have come into contact with 100 years ago, and we wouldn't ever believe them. But now we got stuff going around in our sky and we don't know what they are. So, but I tell you what, I'm quite an open-minded guy, and I'm quite laid back. I'd say I'm a pretty chill guy, to be honest. I could talk to anyone. But if a bunch of aliens turned up and were just chill, that would be a good laugh, I reckon. You know, if they didn't want to harm me or kidnap me, they could just pull up and sit with me and have a cup of tea. I think I would do that. I don't think I would freak out. I think I would just be like, "Oh, do you want a cup of tea, mate? Or do you want to get some chips?" We'll just sit down and have a chat. You know? Like, think how long the universe has been around. And these beings, they can only travel by a craft. So all aliens out there drive or fly the same sort of craft. That's the only way they can travel. So it doesn't seem that far-fetched to me that they all fly in these disc-shaped things, because look at space. But I want to leave it on a very special message for all of you who are still watching. And it comes in 2 parts. So the first part is, aliens have been known to describe us as containers. A lot of you who don't know that, people that have been abducted by it, people that have gone into and study aliens, people that have studied crafts, the language of aliens. Like, this is top CIA files that have gone public. That aliens always referred to humans as containers. And we don't know what that means. I've always thought it means containers of souls. Because every human being has a soul. Every human being has a soul, right? And then aliens have always been interested in how we have this soul inside of us, and I think they've been trying to figure out how to extract it. But that gives me more reassurance that we are safe. You know, like, there's nothing that can happen to you in this life that will take you away from your creator, whether you're a believer or an unbeliever. You know, you have a soul. You watching this video, you have a soul, and anyone could do anything to you. There could be a horrible thing, you know. I really hope that doesn't happen, but just for example's sake, that our souls belong to the Creator, you know. And there's no, and they obviously want to know how we've got that. And it all goes back to the point of we were made in the image of God. We have souls. We can love, you know, all these things, stuff that they might not have. They want to know why we have it and get it as well. Because, and I believe this, aliens know there's a Creator as well. I think that's why they're so interested in human beings, especially the container part. So it brings me reassurance that do not be afraid. And there's no coincidence that it's the sentence "do not be afraid" is said 365 times in the Bible. Like for every day of the year. So remember that every day you wake up, if you're ever scared or you ever fear what's happening in the world, do not be afraid. And me myself, I think that sometimes we all get a bit anxious and a bit scared, but I always go back and fall on the very thing that's round my neck. And do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Never forget that. And I'm so proud of you for whoever you are, because I know you're struggling. I know times are hard right now, and I'm proud of you for whoever you are. And just keep going every day. Every day is a battle. Just keep going. And I can't wait to see how you do when you get to the other side. You can come back and let me know. I'll still be here making these videos, no doubt. But you have to keep going. You have to keep fighting. Because your future self is depending on it. Your future husband, your future wife are depending on you. Your future children are depending on you. Your parents, your friend, you know. But more importantly, yourself, your inner self, your true self is depending on the decisions you make today. So don't let that person down. Alright? Don't let yourself down. Because you deserve it. You deserve to be happy and free from darkness. So that's my message for the end of the video. Some food for thought for sure. And that was a great episode. That the story of that woman was great. That was really interesting. So definitely let me know what you think about that lady's story. Definitely leave me a comment. And I really hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you tomorrow.